So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to One Take Live. I'm Monica May. We were going to take a moment away just to give you all a break and to just gear up for the next season. But unfortunately, we had the July 7th assassination of President Jovenel Moise, or Mose, and I'm going to get the proper pronunciation. And we just wanted to hear from you. What does that do? We have a huge Haitian community here in Central Florida, and we just wanted to give the community a chance to come on and speak. So we reached out to our good friend, Dr. Bonhomme. He's the president of the Greater Haitian American Chamber of Commerce here, to get his thoughts and to get us ready for a candlelight vigil that we're having here. So good evening, Dr. B. Thank you for changing your plans and doing this with us this evening. It's so very important. How are you?
I am well and excited in the midst of the turmoil that our country is going on. But thank you for having me.
Dr. B, where are you coming in from?
Actually, I'm at Barnett Park. We are the stage area in the back of the recreation center.
Welcome to
Got
be over
you.
here.
So
I
that
know
is
those
where we're going to have the candlelight visual this evening. Now,
Yes,
take
ma'am.
us back to even before July 7th with the assassination. What is actually happening there that would make the country want to stage a coup, so to speak?
Well, it's plenty, but within the history, many have heard there's a lot of corruption in the country, a lot of the government leaders as well. So over the years, over the time, as different government transition, there still has not been a complete overhaul, if you will. So of course, you have the private sector, you have the regular citizens, and they're at odds and with the government as well. So over time, disagreement, and it brought to the point where eventually the coup was staged, or as we said, it was an assassination. But I think over the days to come, as more information are available, we'll know exactly what took place.
Hmm. What does that mean for our community here, for our Haitian brothers and sisters here who still have family members there? I know that there's a lot of turmoil in the streets. What is it like there now? What are you hearing?
Yeah, surprisingly, it's been calm by
Really?
the common people, if you will. But in the midst of that, overall, it's shocking to see a head of state to be taken away, to be assassinated in such manner. So we are grieving, given that yes, regardless of political parties, but overall as a country, it takes us back as we try to move forward.
Mhm. Has there been much help from the United States?
I believe there are many countries assisting that are intervening to assist. To what degree the U.S. is assisting, I'm not sure, but I know there were calls out and they've been answered to assist either with investigation, either with logistics. So I think those are on the way. And again, I'm hoping it's in collaboration both with the Haitian government and with any other countries or entities that are lending their hand to assist in this matter.
Mhm. Dr. Bonhomme is our president here of the Greater Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, and he always has answers for us when we need them most. He's been on the front lines of what's been going on, and he's actually getting ready for a candlelight vigil here. I know that we had a meeting between the chamber and Congresswoman Val Demings. What good came out of that? Because I'm sure a lot came out of that.
A lot did. It's great to see Congresswoman took the initiative, especially reaching out to the Haitian community to be heard. That is important. So I think with her having her ears to be able to take it back to Washington and her colleagues to share the sentiments, but also to help solidify some of the ideas, the resources that can be implemented with the voice of the diaspora.
Mhm. We talked a lot that evening about resources, and some of the resources that are needed include, we need vaccinations there. But is that something that Haitians are going to be willing to go ahead and do? Do they want to be vaccinated?
I believe it's going to be mixed. You know,
Okay.
you have a few who accepts the reality of prevention, and you have a few who also accept the using Mother Nature for medicine, and you have a few, of course, with mistrust, assuming that hey, with this transition, there might be opportunities where it may be a plot to further eliminate the
Sure.
black race or the Haitian, if you will, population. So then it's hard to say living abroad here, but at the same time, we have to acknowledge those sentiments.
Hmm. We do have to acknowledge them. And my thought is this mutation, if you will, of COVID, I think is coming back with a vengeance. And I think that the time is right now for Americans as well as Haitian Americans to really consider protecting themselves against this virus. I've seen it, what I've seen the destruction here locally with some younger people more so this time around and the unvaccinated people. So my prayer is that everyone will take into consideration the lives already lost and those that could be lost without being vaccinated. So that's one thing. What are some of the other resources that as Americans we can get together, gather, and send beyond our prayers, my brother? What else can we send? What can we do? Because I know for me, it's like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do the candlelight vigil this evening. What else can I do? Dr. B, I think, got frozen in time. So we're talking with Dr. Ayla Banam. He is the president of the Greater American Haitian Chamber of Commerce here, and we're speaking about the assassination of their president there in Haiti this past July 7th. And in order for us to figure out what we can do as a community, one thing that we're doing this evening is we are presenting a candlelight vigil that's going on at 6:30. It'll begin at Barnett Park. If you are in the area, why don't you go over and lend your resources? We need to find out as a community how we can help our brothers and sisters there in the Haitian community. It's very hard. He was at Barnett Park, and it's very hard to pick up that signal right there. So if he does not come back on, what we will do is just share some other information with you as it comes in. We do know that Commissioner Victoria Siplin is one of the sponsors of tonight. We do know that she will be able to share some more information, and she was actually considering coming on, but we did it at such a last minute. You have to understand that things like this do happen, and technology sometimes is kind of goofy, but there's Dr. B right now again. So Dr. B, in your absence, we were just figuring out what other resources we might be able to do. We know the candlelight vigil is one thing, but what other resources can we do? We feel like we're not doing enough. We're reading, we're praying. What else can we do?
You know, unfortunately, right now it's tough. You know, besides prayer and engage, what we asking is really as we collaborate and stand in solidarity with the Haitian community, allow them to be heard, and at the same time, how can we better engage with our local elected officials to begin to help pass legislation that may better support and alignment with the Haitian community, with Haitian nationals, if you will, uh, to help better that alignment with the U.S. and Haiti. Again, U.S. is right there. Haiti is very near to U.S. and there's a rich history between the United States and Haiti. So our call is to have better relationship, more like a brother sister, if you will.
Mhm. And to be able to assist, I'm sure financially, I'm
And see how we
sure.
can help assist a better country.
Mhm. What do you think? We talked about the strife leading up to the assassination, but to do this to a sitting president has to be the most horrific thing that could happen. The people of Haiti are very prideful. So I'm sure there's lots of discord. Is there any idea of who will go into position next? And in the meantime, without there being a head, what's happening?
Well, again, that's still up for debate, given some of the confusion in the Constitution and with some of the dismantle of some of the government that was there. There are a few individuals in power who were duly elected and properly function. Hopefully, they will be able to carry out those roles. But right now, it's still a due process to see how the transition happened, to see what happened to the current government that is established to term. So it's it's hard to guide and direct where we go, but hopefully the process and those that are on the ground now will be convicted and take notice and do the right thing. And as the community continues to mourn, but also reach to the local officials to hopefully turn a new page for the country.
Mhm. So again, is there anything besides prayer that we can do? I guess, can we do, what do we send? What do we, what is needed? And that's going to be hard, I know.
There, there are a few organizations that are, you know, I don't want to use the words donation or charity, but that are collecting items. But even now, because of some of the uncertainties, to say let's start doing this, but yet not sure where it goes, how it's gonna maneuver with the institution, how are they functioning.
Okay.
I'm not at the position to clearly indicate, okay, this is what needs to be done, but in the future, there may be.
So, and I wanted to hear you say that one more time so that we could make it clear. We are in touch. We just need to wait just a moment. Do not feel that we're not doing anything. We are. We're grieving also, but we're praying and we're sending lots and lots and lots of love. This candlelight vigil will bring us closer together here, and that's what we're doing this evening. 6:30 it starts at Barnett Park on Colonial Drive here in Orlando. Send your love, and we'll let you know where you can send your care to as soon as we find out more. Now, is there anybody that you feel, because when I love hearing you speak, Dr. Bonham, would you ever consider going back to serve in some capacity in a political way?
I I did not hear your question, Monica.
Okay, Dr. B, we're gonna let you go. I'm wondering, I personally love hearing you speak. Would you ever consider becoming more politically engaged at home in Haiti? Would you?
If you would repeat that
One more time. Okay. So what I'm asking him is if he would ever consider becoming more politically engaged back at home. He's come here to learn. He has a wonderful practice going on. He is a doctor. And I'm asking you, Dr. Bonham, if you would ever consider becoming more politically engaged back at home.
uh, no. I think this is the most public service I'll be doing. I can help through here by engaging the community here and servicing here. But right now, no, there is no aspiration for political engagement back at home. My calling is to be an empower and an ally to strengthen and enforce. And I think this is where my calling will stop.
This this is it. I am going to let you go right now, so I know that you have a huge role in the vigil this evening. I do thank you for being on with us again. Our condolences to the families in Haiti. Thank you so much, Dr. B, for being on with us this evening, and thank you. We're going to keep you